important trade partnership. Why has it taken so long?
Very good question, Laura, considering it's two of the world's oldest civilizations who've been trading forever, right? But like they say, better late than never. To be honest, there have been lulls in the relationship, although we've had, on a long-term basis, we've had a fairly collaborative, good relationship. I mean, we were both the founding members of NAM, the Non-Aligned Movement, years ago. But there have been periods of lull. But like your package just mentioned, given that the Egyptian president was here as a chief guest for our Republic Day celebration, I think that was a very clear signal as to the importance that the government here is going to give Egypt going forward, and which is what we're seeing it kind of culminate now in the signing of the agreements and all of that. So I think going forward, we're going to see a renewed kind of thrust and a renewed kind of strength in the both countries going forward.
And quite a lot of goods from India. How important is the partnership seen from New Delhi?
Right. I think, Laura, both you and I can agree, modern kind of geopolitical relationships, I mean, economics is the bedrock. However, I don't think it's so much about what kind of goods and the size of the bill. I think it's like you mentioned earlier, it is the fact that recently, particularly the last couple of years, Egypt is also kind of posturing itself as a facilitator, as a connector for India to the rest of Africa, to West Asia, to Europe as well, right? So I think strategically the geography becomes important. And from India's point of view, given our kind of thrust on the Middle East, we talked about I2U2, a couple of weeks earlier. And so given the thrust on the Middle East, I mean, that is one region where one approach does not work. You need a kind of multi-pronged approach. And this is one of them. Egypt becomes critical to kind of facilitate that as well. So yes, going forward, trade is the bedrock. And we're going to see that kind of go deeper in terms of a more strategic partnership.
And the Prime Minister is clearly enjoying his trip to Egypt. We've seen lots of photographs of him at the pyramids at Giza. How has the visit been covered back home? Is it being seen as a success?
Yes, of course, but I don't have a very happy answer to that. It's just a question of timing, Laura. I mean, the fact is that he was in the US just before that. And in India, for obvious reasons, I mean, a visit to the US kind of overshadows, in terms of media coverage, if you're asking me, that kind of tends to overshadow everything else. But having said that, like I mentioned, I think there is no doubt that Egypt is an important partner. I don't think media coverage would be the right way to judge it, because like I mentioned, it's just poor timing.
Ekta Kumar, great to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Good night.